What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to, of course, be talking about with you guys. For those of you who haven't heard about this right now, the Lonzo Ball situation with the New York Knicks is getting really crazy. There is a huge opportunity that Lonzo Ball could fulfill in this, New York Knicks team. And there's a huge chance that this could actually happen. We've heard multiple reports about it. But it is now currently being reported that the Knicks are reportedly on Lonzo's radar, with a quote that's saying he can take the ball out of Julius Randle's hands and he's improved his shooting, an NBA scout said. And this is all being reported by Mark Barman of New York Post. So that is a huge, possibility that this could happen now, where Lonzo Ball goes to the New York Knicks. I just hope that he's not going to go there because they're the biggest market team available for him to go to. That's my worry about Lonzo Ball, is that we've seen how much LeVar Ball wanted him to go to the Lakers just because of how much of a big market team they were, and I wouldn't be surprised if LeVar Ball has some of this say in his decision, with him maybe even going now to, of course, the New York Knicks. In my opinion, he should not go to the New York Knicks, though. In my opinion, I actually think he should go to the Chicago Bulls. I think the Chicago Bulls would be on the most perfect team for Lonzo Ball to go to. Of course, they do have a point guard in Kobe White, but there are big reports that they're going to bring him off the bench next season. And we saw Billy Donovan start to bench Kobe White, just because, again, it does look like his position will be better off the bench as that, scoring two guard. He could even be just a point guard off the bench. His playmaking's not the worst, but it's not exactly the greatest. But he does still have a lot for improvement. But right now, the two big things they need is playmaking and defense. And of course, we know Lonzo Ball can bring in both. Right now, in their starting five, they've literally got no defenders. They've got Patrick Williams, but Larry Markkinen and Vucevic just can't work together because no one wants to see a front court that can, consists of those two players together. It just doesn't work at all. Vucevic and Larry Markkinen's defense would be probably the worst in the league for a duo at this point. Both of them are known to be really bad defenders. Plus, Zach LaVine's not great, neither is Kobe White. So you pretty much just got Patrick Williams as your main small forward. That's of course, really good defender. But again, he's still developing. It will still take time. So I think in this starting five, you need to let, of course, Larry Markkinen go and bring in a two-way power forward. Of course, some of them who are available could be Ben Simmons. He could be another dude they bring in that adds playmaking and defense. But I think you go for Lonzo Ball. You bring in Lonzo Ball, start him at point guard. And then I think you bring in, a really good defender at that power forward position in free agency. One that can space the floor as well. Again, one that could be available up for trade is, of course, Taurean Prince from the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's known to be a guy that can guard 1 through 4, so he would be pretty good for them as well. He'd probably start, and they could probably get him for a couple second-round picks. Again, then you could be looking at a starting five that looks at Lonzo Ball at point guard, Zach LaVine at shooting guard, Patrick Williams a small forward, maybe Taurean Prince at power forward, and of course, Nikola Vucevic rather at center. Then off the bench, you'd have Kobe White, etc. So that's where I think Lonzo should go. But if he does go to the New York Knicks, they should probably be his second option. Again, it'd still be a nice team. The reason why they kind of want the ball out of Julius Randle's hands, it does seem like, is because of what he, didn't do in the playoffs, I suppose. He wasn't great in the playoffs, and he had the ball in his hands quite a bit. It just looked like he fumbled under pressure. In my opinion, I think he'll get better at that. Once now, he's got some playoff experience, I think he'll have a much improved, season next year. But I do agree the ball needs to be taken out of his hands at least, some point. He's a really good playmaker, but I just think there are better ball handlers out there. And if you can get Lonzo Ball to take the ball off him a little bit, but still have the ball, somewhat in Julius Randle's hands, I think you can have, a really nice team maybe there going forward. But again, they already do have a bunch of point guards that are ball dominant. They're just not great playmakers. Of course, the New York Knicks have Derrick Rose and Emmanuel Quickley, who, don't get me wrong, are both really, really good scorers. They're just not, top-tier playmakers, where Lonzo Ball could very well be one of the best in the NBA. And again, could definitely develop. If you get shooters around him, this year, I believe he averaged around, still 5 to 7 assists per game. And he literally played with one shooter in his starting five, which is Brandon Ingram. Imagine if he had, some nice shooters around him RJ Barrett, Reggie Bullock, Julius Randle as well. That would be really nice. I still really like that Chicago's Bulls team though more. Like, I mean, Lonzo Ball playmaking to elite shooters like Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, would be insane. And even Patrick Williams is developing that jump shot and could be better in the future. And even Lonzo Ball, his jump shot does still look a little bit iffy. I'm not going to lie, like a little bit whack, but let's be honest here. He is developing it, and I think that eventually he can get it a little bit more consistent. And again, that Chicago Bulls team would go from like only 2 shooters and minimal defense in, you know, Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic, to bringing in Lonzo Ball, who's becoming a consistent shooter, and Patrick Williams, who I definitely think will develop that shooting in the off-season and become a lot more better, and will be taking a lot more shots next season. I'm saying right now, the Chicago Bulls are one, you know, good playmaker away, and 2 good defenders away from being a good team in this NBA. And again, I think if you can bring in like Taurean Prince, who should be pretty cheap, only a couple second-round picks, and Lonzo Ball in free agency, and of course, who knows, maybe another defensive power forward here and there could come off the bench as well, or maybe you could just say Lonzo Ball is that second good defender as well as a good playmaker. It's a pretty set team, but again, the New York Knicks as well. Lonzo Ball would just be, he'd be good for both teams. He'd just go to the Chicago Bulls, so in my opinion, it makes a lot more sense for him to go there. But if you haven't already, of course, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for the latest NBA content and NBA news. Of course, don't forget, you know, to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/Logan channels if you haven't already, which I will link in the description down below. Of course, don't forget to check out my podcast as well. Don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think Lonzo Ball should go to the New York Knicks, or do you guys think he should maybe even go, of course, to the Chicago Bulls? How do you guys, of course, all rate this? Again, I definitely would like to know. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.